Hey, good morning. This is Barrett. I wanted to start looking at a couple different grinders, and I figured the first one that I would start with is the Mazzer Super Jolly. It's been a classic for decades. It's been used in lots of espresso shops all around the world forever. It's been, I would say, replaced with a lot of the more automatic machines now, but you can sometimes pick them up for a pretty good deal. This is one that's obviously been heavily modified and restored, as you can tell from the color, and I've converted it to single dose, but you'll see what I'm talking about here in a minute when I do the dosing in both. Also off to the side, I have this Turin DF 64, and as I've mentioned in some other videos, these two grinders are very similar. They use the same burr size, so I really wanted to take a deep look at what are the similarities and what are the differences in these grinders, and see if we can even taste the difference. So let's start off by weighing out some beans. I'm going to use this dosing cup. We're going to do 18 grams. There's 18. I'll load that into the Turin. And then while I'm at it, I'm going to load 18 into the Super Jolly too. Okay. So let's start with the Turin, and I'm actually going to so while it's going, I like to give it a couple pumps of the bellows. You get a little bit of coffee grounds that spray out. So let's see where we're at. Oh, my scale teared. Let's put it in here. And I was at 17.9 before. We're at 17.8 right now. Pretty much to be expected. There's a little bit of transfer. So I'm going to brew this shot real quick. Let's give this a cooling flush. I'm actually going to try to weigh this out. Getting close. So this is amazing. It's always hard to show a cup of coffee without taking the camera down. So there's the Turin. It looks fantastic. So let's do the same thing with the Super Jolly. And I'm going to try to keep this tared out this time. And you'll see how it's kind of more of a mess. So this is the first step of grinding with this grinder. I did convert it to doseless, but if you had the dosing mechanism on the side, you'd be still doing this. So I like to brush out the neck, brush it all down, turn it on one more time, get one more poof. And you can tell, I mean, it's not bad, but it's kind of a mess. And let's see how much we got out. So I put 18 in and we're at 17.2. So there's quite a bit that gets stuck in there. Normally I would dose a little bit heavier, but I'm looking at how much does it retain. The puck definitely doesn't look quite as smooth on this one, and I have more mess around the edge. Let's a little bit faster because we didn't have quite as many grounds. It's quite a bit faster. So there's the same volume. That one took almost 30 seconds. This one took about 20. And I'm going to try to bring the camera up. Now the crema on this one settled a little bit, so it looks like it's a little bit less, but it was originally the same. So you can tell there's a little bit of difference. This is the Turin, this is the Super Jolly. Now, granted, they could be dialed in slightly different than each other. I felt like they were pretty much dialed in the same. I think if this one had that extra half a gram, that would have helped it a lot. So let's do a quick taste test. First, the Turin. Very rich. This has that very rich caramel, burnt spices. This is very good. Let's try the Super Jolly. Totally different. It's a little bit more astringent, but yet not bad. I still think maybe go down a setting on the Super Jolly to try to do it side by side, but I really felt like they were dialed in about the same. I would probably recommend doing a true 18 grams out of each and brewing the shot again and seeing if I can really taste a bigger difference. But overall, they have the same burrs. They grind in about the same amount of time. They're both a little bit of a mess. You can see the mess. And obviously the Super Jolly is a lot messier. I mean, it's a shop grinder. I don't have the grounds tray in the front right now, but that's probably my first real side-by-side test of this Turin grinder. And overall, I mean, it's outperforming the Super Jolly so far. And I kind of like the bellows more than I want to admit, but let me know what you think down in the comments.